do this. Let's kick this big.
Hello, everybody. My name is Aaron.
My name is Mike.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Eric from New York. Thanks for having me back, guys.
You're welcome. Eric's from Swizzy Golf. Swizzy is a game improvement app, right? That helps unify students and instructors from pretty much anywhere in the country. You could do this, or anywhere in the world, I would imagine, right? And you don't have to be near an instructor, and you could just find somebody you like, and they can help you get your game improvement on, right?
You got it.
Awesome. How are things at Swizzy going? We've had you on a couple times now. What's new? Anything going on, or?
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. I think this is the fourth time I've been on now, so we've had a lot of really cool, interesting conversations. So I'm excited to dive in again in this one. Right now, we're going to be coming out with something pretty cool. Hopefully, the beginning of next month. We've got a partner for you guys or any of your listeners that want to check them out. They're called Go Gator Gear Golf. They're a partner that we started working with over the summer. They're a physical training tool, so it kind of complements what we do pretty well. I'm not going to promote them too much. They're only our partner, not part of our team. So I'm just going to give a brief kind of what they do. But they basically have these patented golf polos that allow you to put a alignment rod through it. So you always see people, pros and amateurs. Amateurs, we don't know what we're doing, but pros do when they're, they cross their arms and they're taking these practice swings. And really, it allows you to do that, but actually take a swing instead of just air swing and body swing.
Oh, cool.
So we've partnered with them to have some longer term goals to work on some automated feedback apps that software that'll detect their polos and their sticks and have our guys do an analysis on that in real time. And our first step, which hopefully is the beginning of next month, will be just a video submission portal. Students can upload videos of just their swing, and our coaches are going to analyze them and just do some simple analysis. Get the ball rolling on, what they do, what we do, kind of combine the two together and work towards eventually that kind of, matrix grid where you can have this AI and analyze what you're doing and have our coaches kind of read it back. So that's some pretty cool stuff. And then just on our own kind of pipeline, we've been working a lot with golf simulators lately. One of the times that I was on, I'm sure I mentioned that we had some cool long-term plans as well to kind of build our software into golf simulators. So you just show up at a simulator and now there's a button on the screen that says take live lesson and your coach is, on the projector with you, which is pretty awesome. And our first step kind of towards that is, well, let's just get in simulators in general. Let's have them set up a tripod. Let's make our pros available at all times to the people that walk in the door and want a lesson. So started to get a few good partnerships with those guys, and that's the perfect kind of set up partnership for us. So we're excited to kind of move that further along down the line. So
is there
stuff on those 2 fronts.
Is there a specific simulator software that you're working with now? I know when we've gone to a couple different simulators here, and it seems like there's a few different like major softwares that they use for that.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure each manufacturer has their own software. Like True Golf is a big manufacturer. They have their e-stick system.
Yep.
Full Swing has their own kind of, I think it might just be called the Full Swing Suite, whatever it is. So each package is kind of individual to the manufacturer. We've worked with True Golf, and we've had conversations with About Golf, two pretty big guys. And it's a pretty big project to do, as you can imagine. Just especially recreating our app, making it so that we can upload into their system hands off and update it constantly to do all these different things. So conversations are good. Just we're happy to just be able to talk to those guys. But it's good to have it as a long-term radar and know that they're somewhat interested in it. And a great thing about kind of us going out and partnering with these simulators on our own is we can go to them in a few months and say, hey, that idea we've been working on, it's doing really well in these 10 locations. So if it was integrated into your product, we can just license it out to different people and it'll do even better. So kind of gives us a little bit more validation going into conversations in the future with those guys.
For sure. It'd be awesome. I'd love to go to a simulator and just like, you know what? I feel like having a lesson today. I think that'd be a good idea.
That'd be sweet, right?
Yeah.
And then you imagine the pro on the other side, and he's got, a mirror projection of your ball shot tracer when you're hitting into the simulator, and he's got your numbers on his iPad and everything. And, eventually you have an Apple Watch on or something, and he can gauge your your wrist position and your arm angles and everything, all without having to try and guess. So
Wow.
it's really cool stuff. That it's ambitious, but we're hoping we can get there.
It sounds
That's
awesome.
fantastic. Yeah, I can't even get past that. You walk in, hit a button, and there's a pro there that's gonna sync up with you and they'll say, "Okay, let's go, Mike. Let's hit some balls, see where we're at."
Yeah,
I think that'd be really cool. So
sounds like a perfect golf world to me.
Yeah.
it does. It does. Absolutely. Well, that's a lot of new stuff. That's awesome, man. I'm glad things are going well, and I hope they continue to go well. We love having you on. Just so everybody knows, 163 days till the Masters and only 61 days till Christmas.
Sweet.
61 days till Christmas. So if you have to buy gifts, everybody, you got some time. Anyway, Cam Young wins the Rookie of the Year. What do you think about that? Big shocker?
No, probably not.
I don't think so. I think he earned it. I thought he had a great year.
Yeah, he did. He had finished the season ranked number 19 in the world. The world golf rankings. I guess we can't use the word official in front of them. It really triggers some people. Anyway, but it was the best rookie season out of anybody that was there. He got 94% of the votes, so that was pretty good. Sahith Theegala and Tom Kim were the other finalists. While Young didn't win last year, he did finish second 5 times and had 2 third-place finishes as well. So he had a really outstanding season. He had a chance to win the Open Championship there at the end, but somebody else putted really, really well, and that person's playing on live right now. So way to go, Cam. Still fun to watch. Last week we had the CJ Cup and Rory McIlroy coming through with the W
to defend his title.
Defends his title, gets his 23rd win, right? Held off Kurt Kitayama to win by 1 with 17 under. There was a lot of back and forth going, but he really seized control with 3 straight birdies in the back 9, and then was able to finish with 2 bogeys and still win. So it's 23rd victory and 31st victory worldwide for Rory. Now, 23 is a lot of victories. Tiger Woods has over 23 of his victories defended a title.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Isn't that a crazy stat?
Yeah, that's nuts. Well, he has also won at there's 4 venues that he's won at 5 times or something ridiculous like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to compete when you're dealing with any Tiger stat, I feel like.
I just think that's an incredible stat. Not taking anything away from Rory. There's a lot of people that have been on social media, Twitter and things saying that his battle with Liv has really reinvigorated his game. I think his game was starting to get turned around before Liv, to be honest with you.
I don't think Liv Golf has any effect on his game whatsoever.
Of course not.
If anything, I think that whole Liv situation serves as a distraction, right? So
yes.
You could say Rory could be in an even better place, but he's been dealing with all the distractions. So
right.
He did come up with that quote last week where he wanted to be the world number 1 for 1 week longer than Greg Norman did. So there might be some motivation there for that, because the 2 of them have been going back and forth quite a bit, or a little bit anyway. Right. So it's his 9th time getting to the world number 1 ranking, putting him only behind Tiger and Norman, who each had it for 11 times. So he's coming up. It's interesting to watch him play these days. He seems like he's having more fun. He seems like he's really into golf again. And I think for years, and we talked about this probably a few times, Aaron, he seemed distracted in the past with everything that was going on in his life and being a part of the players committee, things like that. So.
Yeah. I mean, he also had a baby recently, you know, that's a huge life event that's going to take anyone away from whatever they're doing for a while.
Right.
I would be surprised. I mean, if he continues to play this well, I will be shocked if he doesn't win a major next year. Shocked.
I think he wins the major.
I hope so. I hope he can. I would love to see that.
Yeah. I think it's kind of, the pressure is kind of off him now at this point. I think in those years, like 2015 to 2018, 2019, when it looked like he was just kind of pressing and struggling all year, that every year going to the Masters, he was the expectation. Is he going to do it? Pressure's all on him. Now it's kind of like, all right, well, it's been 10 years. It's either going to happen or it's not. And it's just kind of a background story. So it's still there, but it seems like a little bit of the pressure is off of him.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, I mean, again, I want him to show up at Augusta in April and just go to town. I would love to see him win. I mean, that would be the ultimate like show next year, would to see him win.
Yeah, it seems so far away though. I forget how far away is that, Mike? You mentioned something about that.
Like 161 days. So
perfect.
I know it's awesome. So is he back? Is this what we can expect now from Rory? Do you guys think that he's able to keep everything else at bay and continue to play this way and retain the world number one ranking for a while?
I mean, he's been playing really consistently for a while already, so I don't see any reason why he shouldn't continue to play that way.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is nothing new from the last half of the season from Rory. I mean, he picked right back up after taking a bit of a break, wins the tournament, takes over world number one. Well, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this ranking tarnished in any way with Cam not being part of the picture anymore, since Liv is not getting any world golf ranking points? There's people out there that are saying, and I don't believe them, I'm not one of them, the conversation still is there, with Cam not getting any points, Rory's deserves an asterisk.
I didn't even think that was a thing until you brought it up.
He should be playing on an officially ranked tour, you know, if they, I mean, that's what it should be. That's just ridiculous.
I mean,
no,
so
I agree.
The whole live thing aside, the whole blah, 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 there's no points over there. You can't get world ranking points right now. There's no way for him to get it. They knew that when they went. So to my mind, there's no asterisk. Roy's number one. That, you know, Cam's taking some time off, doing something else, whatever. So
yeah,
if it was somebody's first time, maybe somebody like Zalatoris jumps up and then he's number one, I could see a little bit more merit, at least just from, you know, colloquially, oh, is there an asterisk? But, you know, Rory's at least one of the top three golfers in the world. So you're not going to question it.
And it's not like he hasn't been there before. This isn't the first time he's been world number one. So, you know, he'll be at probably 110 weeks here soon of world number one. So
yeah, bumps Scheffler down to number two. Cam's still in number three position, even though he's playing on Live right now. Rahm's number five. Xander, Will, Justin, Colin Morikawa. Colin Morikawa is number 9. I don't understand that one. He hasn't really done much. It seems like it feels
consistent, just consistent, right? Top 15, top 20s, like 20, things like that. You know, that's going to really help. That's going to really help keep you up there.
It's the male version of Lexi Thompson not having won anything in 4 years and still being ranked 8th in the world. So,
right. And Matty Fitzpatrick rounds out the top 10. Brandel Chambly tweeted out something. It was pretty cool. He said, at the same age Rory is now, 33 and almost 6 months, Phil Mickelson had won 21 times, but had not won a major, a Players, a Varden Trophy, been number one, or led the money list. Rory has 4 majors, a Players, 4 Varden Trophies, and been number one 9 times and led the money list twice.
Wow.
So people were really kind of jumping all over that. So I did a little research.
Well, I would imagine that entire time, Phil was also competing against Tiger in his prime.
Yeah. That's the one caveat you have to take away.
Yeah.
Yeah. After Phil turned 33, he had 24 wins, 6 were majors.
Wow. That's crazy.
I mean, that's pretty good, right? After 33 years old. So can Rory do what Phil did after 33? Who knows? You know, Rory's in good shape. He's a really good striker of the ball right now. I don't remember seeing him hit it this well in years and years. So he's doing some good things.
Rory's, I mean, probably the best driver of the golf ball on tour right now. I mean, he has everything going for him. He's just, hopefully he can do it. I'd say he's probably better shape now than Phil Mickelson was until he was 50 years old. So, you know, he's got all that going for him.
Yeah. So up next we have we head over to Bermuda for the Butterfield Bermuda Championship at Port Royal Golf Club in Southampton. It's one of these courses. It's not a really long course. I think it's 6,800 yards or something like that, just over 6,800 yards, par 71. The thing here is the weather, right? So we've seen this in the past, and the wind has blown pretty strong. There's been rain. There's been all kinds of conditions the players have to deal with. Lucas Herbert captured his first PGA Tour title here last year with a final round of 2 under par and really windy conditions, and it was really well. And he held off Table for One, I believe, for the victory. So, Eric, if you don't know who Table for One is, anybody else want to enlighten them who it is?
It's Patrick Reed,
the most beloved golfer in the PGA.
Yeah, apparently his the tour players gave him the nickname Table for One because
wow,
it's Patrick Reed.
Obvious, so.
Yeah. So we got a lot to look forward to on that. The weather's going to play a major factor. It usually does. So if it was calm and not windy, that'd be a course that would get destroyed, I think, because it's not particularly long. So last week on a one and done, Tony had Rory use that pick early, and it paid off for him.
I guess he got a good win out of it.
Got a win,
Got $1.89 million. So that moves Tony into first place at 2.1 and change. Scott Stallings, who was my pick, finished in a tie for 58, got me 20 grand, just over 20 grand. So I'm in second place at 1.69 million. Aaron had Siwoo Kim, who finished tied for 52nd for another $21,000, gets him into third place at 469,000. And Jeff had Sunjay M, his tie for 35th, gave him 54,180, bringing Jeff to $372,000 and change, and dropping him to fourth place again early in the season. A lot of golf tournaments left, so this is gonna not remain the same as people get into better tournaments after the first of the year and we start really picking. This week, Wesley Bryan of Bryan Bros fame and one of Aaron and I's favorite people to watch golf is in this championship, but I am not picking him. I'm taking the Seamus Power. So
I don't even know
see
who
how
to
he
pick.
does.
I've looked at this. I've looked at this list of people, and at this point, I could just throw a dart at a name.
Who do I
absolutely.
take?
Zero clue.
Absolutely. So
I mean, is anybody? I mean, there's none of the big ones in this, is there?
You know what? I'm gonna pick Wesley Bryan for this one. I'm gonna pick Wesley Bryan.
all right. Hopefully he's driving the ball better than he had been at the last year, because he was not a good driver of the ball.
And who won it last year? You just said his name.
Oh my God!
Lucas Glover?
Yeah, no, it was
Lucas
Herbert. Lucas Herbert.
He even in it? Yeah. All right. Let's go with Lucas Glover to pull something off and do something weird this week.
All right, we're waiting on Tony's pick, so we'll get that going. And I'll
hey,
throw
I
it
got a
down in the
question for you.
comments.
What
Fire away.
happens if one of our golfers scratches on Wednesday
New pick.
or before tournament start? Yeah,
if it's before the tournament starts and you throw the pick somewhere where there's a date and time stamp, we'll allow it to go. How's that?
Considering that I can definitely make that evidence appear somehow, I'll make that happen.
Well, text me or throw it in the chat. Something like that.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Here's a screenshot.
There definitely could be a scratch. You never know, right? So I'm gonna go with Seamus Power. Hopefully he does something. And again, it's not a particularly long golf course, so you don't have to be a monster off the tee. You just have to be pretty good with your irons, especially if you're playing in wind and rain. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not going to watch a lot of it, to be honest. I got a pretty full weekend, but we'll definitely check out the highlights. LPGA.
I know, it was the BMW.
Yeah, it was. And Lydia Ko.
Lydia Ko won it for so good for Lydia.
It is. So it gets really, it's her first win in South Korea. And she was born there. So I know she's a New Zealander now.
From New Zealand, yep.
But she was born there. She shot 7 under on Sunday, gave her a 4-shot win over American Andrea Lee. And she finished at 21 under. So and this is still the hard part, right? She gets that first place check of $300,000.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's again that disparity in pay, but
we've talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, got to get sponsors, got to get people to watch.
Yep.
Got to do more to get the women's game going. And I strongly feel that mixed events are really good way to do that. I'd love to see that happen. So
At least
I
a
know
couple.
Trevor Immelman doesn't want to see that happen ever. But
That's okay. Trevor's definitely got an opinion on this matter.
he definitely does. He definitely does. So don't forget this. So a couple of things about Lydia that people may not know. She's only 25.
Yeah,
She's
young.
been around a long time. She's the youngest person at the age of 14 to win a professional tour event. She's also the youngest ever at 15 to win an LPGA event, and the youngest to win a major championship, the Evian Championship in France, earning the world #1 ranking at 17 years, 9 months, and 9 days.
Is that the youngest person to ever win a golf major, period?
I don't know if it's the youngest to ever win a golf major, but she is the youngest golfer, male or female, to be ranked #1 ever.
That's
on any
wild.
tour.
Good for her. You know, I mean, that's a lot of pressure. Like, and we've talked about this before, you know, like almost Michelle Wie-esque pressure to be great. You know, people put so much pressure on Michelle Wie to be great at such a young age that, you know, it could be argued that that's kind of what caused her downturn. But, you know, Lydia didn't have that happen. She just kept on going and kept making things happen for herself. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny
crazy good back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and if you look at her profile page, it's kind of crazy to look at it, right? Because you go, oh wow, rookie year, 2014. She's 25, right?
Mhm.
So it's, I mean, like we said, young. She started, you know, doing this very young, and has always had a great game when she's been out there doing it. So,
is it me, or does it just feel like this is kind of more the norm on the LPGA than anything else? A lot of these female golfers are really good when they're young, and they get thrown into tournaments, and they have a lot of pressure and a lot of stress on them at a young age.
Well,
can they burn out really fast too?
I feel like Michelle Wie was a little different because that was, I mean, people were putting it on her like she was the Tiger Woods of women's golf. Like that's what people were saying about her when she was, and like
she's going to play men's events, right?
Yeah, so, like she played men's events. She'll be able to beat men and everything like that. Like that is a huge amount of expectations put onto a teenager. You know, someone who's probably not even thinking about playing this game for a living yet or anything like that. They're just doing it because they enjoy it. Whereas, you know, I mean, I feel like I haven't seen anybody like that since, so I'm not sure it's really the same.
I agree. Moving on to Liv, their final event's coming up, and Liv not only made shorts, you know, something for everybody to wear if they really wanted to, they have now made rangefinders legal into tournament play.
Nice. All right.
Sweet.
I mean, PGA Championship had them, right?
Yeah. They did.
So why not Liv? They can't use the feature that calculates the elevation changes slope, right? So, but you can use rangefinders. If you're a caddy, it makes your job a whole lot easier now, doesn't it?
Yeah,
go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
No, I was going to say they're actually technically speaking, that's the rangefinder setup for all tournaments, even locally here. You can use a rangefinder, but you can't have the slope feature. And actually, Bushnell makes tournament legal models versus, hey, it's got all the bells and whistles and ones you can turn off and on and everything like that. And yeah, it's great as a caddy because you can just, I love it.
I was just gonna say I didn't know they made special rangefinders like that. I was gonna say it must be hard to police. You know, how do you know if someone's not adjusting for slope with the rangefinder?
Yeah.
Why not just give them a slope? I mean, you're already giving them the number.
And they already know.
To take time down. Yeah.
Like they already know how to do the math to find the slope and figure it out. It's not like their caddies already have all that information for them anyway. So
yeah. So their final event's coming up. It's going to be the 28th through 30th. It's a 3-day extravaganza as it's being billed. It's going to be so big that Trump is playing in the Pro-Am on Wednesday, and it's closed to the general public. So nobody will be able to watch it. But it's really going to determine the team championship. And it's a $50 million purse. $50 million.
That's wild.
$50 million.
I'm all for the shorts. I'm about that, you know.
Heck yeah.
I feel like, you know, the PGA Tour needs to start implementing that.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. The winning team's going to split $16 million, and all 12 teams receive prize money no matter how you did. The top team is DJ's team, right? Which has got Pat Perez, who's done absolutely nothing in Live Golf except live off of everybody else's earnings. God, I don't remember. Is Patrick Reed on his team?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I have no idea, to be honest. I don't know any of the teams or who's on them or any of that stuff.
So
let's just to think about it though, in the PGA, if you'd said, well, that dude that's scraping the bottom of the barrel, what's that? What is that check on a normal tournament? Is that
$125,000?
no.
On a normal
not live,
tournament.
on a normal PGA tournament. That last
20,000.
20 grand.
Is it? If
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
right? Oh
Yeah.
God.
It's probably 20 grand, 10 grand, 12 grand, somewhere around there.
I know Golf Digest, after every tournament, they do here's where everybody finished and how much money they got. And the bottom's always like 15, 20 grand.
Right. So Brandon Grace, DJ won the individual title, right? In $18 million. He was followed by Brandon Grace, who won $8 million bonus, and Peter Uline, who got a $4 million bonus. Uline, who's 33 years old, has pocketed $11.3 million in prize and bonus money this year on Live. He made just more than $4 million on the PGA Tour when he joined it in 2011 and up to his departure to Live Golf.
So is this weekend just team? You said DJ won the individual. Is this just the team then this weekend?
I think every tournament has a little bit of both. So there's an individual, so I think this is like a one day is a team day, then the last day is individual, but it also takes into account the team score too. I don't really know exactly how they figure all that out.
Yeah, we went over it a couple pods ago. There's a seeding for all 12 teams where the top team gets to go pick who they want to play against and so on and so forth. But the top couple of teams don't have to play the first day because they get a bye. So, and it's a combination of both team and individual still going forward. But you get to pick and choose who you're playing.
Yeah.
That was a long drive or closest to the pin got to pick first or something. I remember seeing that a few weeks ago. I had no idea what it was, but it was something like that.
I mean, they could have had some great rules like the top seeded team gets to pick who they're playing and also one club the other team can't play with that week. Or, I mean, why don't we just go
right?
Or just add some crazy stuff in here and call it good.
So it looks like the top 4 seeds receive a bye, and the 5th through 12th seeds will compete in head-to-head match play competitions on Friday. For each head-to-head team matchup, 3 matches will take place, 2 singles matches and 1 alternate shot foursomes match. That's kind of cool, I gotta say. I like that.
Alternate shot's a fun format to watch.
The 4 winners from Friday will go join the top 4 seeds for the same format on Saturday.
So do the top 5 only play 36 holes then for the entire tournament? Since they have a bye on Friday?
That's what it looks like, yep.
And they want to be in the official World Golf Rankings.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, come on, give me them points.
Yeah, so all 16 players will compete in twosomes on Sunday, the remaining teams, with team captains playing together. All 4 scores count towards the team's score, and the team with the lowest score is the Live Golf Invitational Series team champion. There's no individual component for the Doral event. Only players on the course each day will be the only players on the course will be those from the teams scheduled to compete. 16 million for the first place. The runner-up team will split 10 million. Third place receives 8 million. Fourth takes home 4 million. And the next 4 teams each split $2 million, while the final 4 teams each split $1 million.
It's not bad.
So you come in dead last, play the worst golf in a professional tournament of your life, and get paid $125,000 just for showing up.
I'll go play the worst golf.
Yeah,
of my life.
I can do that any day.
Grand. That'd be great.
So this is great. When this is all over and done, and the tournament's just done, Liv will have awarded $225 million in prize money and an additional $30 million in bonuses. That does not include around $1 billion in signing bonuses handed out by Greg Norman, paid in yearly installments.
Wow.
And the rumor is by somebody that's on Twitter that claims to be, the Live Golf guru who says who's going next. He's been right a lot. Says that Ricky Fowler is about to sign a 4-year, $85 million deal.
I mean, I would like to say that I'm not surprised. I'm a little. I mean, I wanted to see where he went after those swing changes. I wanted to see what happened after him switching back to Butch Harmon. I wanted to see if he could get back and win a few more tournaments. That would have been awesome. But I guess, I mean, if he goes and does that on Live too, that's great. You know, good for him. He got his swagger back, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it's not guaranteed that he's going. It's just a rumor. He may not go. I know him, and he's really tight with Tiger. So can Tiger talk him out of it?
It's true. Him,
You're
Justin
right,
Thomas, Jordan Spieth, they're all really
JT,
good buddies.
Rory,
you know? Yeah.
Well, there's other rumors saying that Xander and oh my God, and somebody else are going too. So it's all but done apparently for the next season. We'll see. I don't know what's going to happen. As it happens, we'll obviously talk about it and share opinions on it. I hate to see Ricky go because I think you're right, Aaron. There's changes and everything that's happening. His game seems to be coming around. I'd love to see him win a couple majors on the PGA Tour.
I want to see him full suited up, orange from head to toe, with a flat bill Puma hat out there, winning tournaments. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see Ricky doing that.
So as hard a time as I give Ricky, I said this before, he's the reason why I have some of the flamboyant.
Oh yeah. All
the
know,
pink,
yeah.
the multicolor orange. I have a blue with Puma shirt. That's a Ricky Fowler shirt all the way.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's not forget, Michael McCann reported yesterday that the PGA Tour sued the Public Investment Fund of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and its governor in the Southern District of New York. So the entire case is still under seal, has not been assigned to a judge yet. The filing was made by the same attorney that's defending the PGA Tour on Liv's golf suit. And we're about to see the shit hit the fan, I believe, between these two entities and in court. And there's going to be a lot of discovery here. And we're going to learn a lot about what the contracts are, how they're made up, and we'll be able to see behind the curtain. I think that's going to help us. It's going to help us understand a little bit more about why people might have done something. That and a Netflix special, which is still not yet.
We're not. Right. We have no idea when that's happening. Also, the Live Golf special that you told me about, Dad, where they're making their own documentary. Live Golf is now making their own documentary too.
That's right. I forgot about that. Thanks for bringing that up. They're going to make up their own 4 majors if the players aren't allowed to play in the majors here. So they're going to come up with 4 majors, and they're just going to buy it and do it. So, because that's how
get
that
more
works
money
apparently.
out for those events.
Yep.
We talked about it last week, and maybe that's what set off some of the comments we received last week was how obscene the money is that's being thrown at players. Not saying I wouldn't take it if it was offered to me.
Oh God,
I'm not saying that.
Heartbeat.
What do you think a major tournament on Live Golf? I mean, if their regular tournaments are 50 million, is that a $75 million, $100 million tournament? Something along those lines.
I don't know. I do know they're dropping the invitational from their name next year. That's one of the requirements, I believe, for official world golf ranking points. It can't be just straight invitationals. While there are some invitationals in the PGA Tour, more often than not, you're talking about a full field 72-hole event that has a cut and things like that.
Right. So if you're gonna do it Live Golf style, right? Let's think about the purses. The PGA purse for the Tour Championship, 75 million, right? The winner gets 18. So that's entry level, isn't it, for Live Golf? I mean, you got to have. I mean, everything else has been leaps and bounds above. So are you talking 150 million is your purse for those things? I mean, that's 36 million to the winner.
Oh my God.
Who cares though?
Right.
These guys they're making 50 million a year in their contract, and they're making 5 million every tournament. Right. Do I need to win this tournament to get 10 million, or do I just show up and get my 3 million? You just totally devalue the whole product because all you have is money. You've already given so much of it away. Like, what's the incentive here? More money.
Right. There's no incentive for people to go out and compete their hardest. They just they're just going to go play, and whatever happens because they get a big fat check at the end of it, regardless.
Right.
Maybe if you gave away 50 million to first and 0 to everybody else or something like that.
Right.
But they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
That's interesting though. Hey guys, there's $50 million up for grabs. There's only 48 of you in a field. Whoever wins gets it all.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I've always said, that, that's how the government should do things, right? Hey, we want cheap green power. There's $10 billion in the trust fund gaining interest. Whoever invents it cheaply, does this XYZ, you get it all. Go for it.
Yeah. Could you imagine competing against 47 other players for $50 million? I mean,
that would make a great special. Like,
Oh my God.
like the Bryson, whatever, just mic them up, have like the top 20 players in the world. It's a battle royale, make it $10 million, make it, $1 million, whatever it is, winner takes all. Trash talk is allowed. You can distract people while they're taking their shots. Whatever you can do, you play dirty, and winner gets it all.
And instead of a car in the middle of the lake, you got a fortified box with that cash sitting.
Oh yeah.
And they all have to go by it, like it's the center feature of the golf.
Like what is the rest of the Hell in the Cell, but for PGA Tour.
There you go.
Look what you started, Eric. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, right.
That'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, but I mean, Eric makes a good point. When you have so much money out there, do you devalue it at the end of the day? I don't have to do anything and I get 125, 150,000. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna go do my minimal required.
Right.
Yeah, it brings me to another topic that I had. What does the off season look like? This is the last wraparound season. So after August of next year, there's going to be no golf until January. For me, I like that. It gives me that desire to watch live golf again. Not that we're not going to see some, we'll see some, but what do you want to see in an off season? I want to see events like that. I want to see combined events that mix the LPGA and PGA Tour, and maybe get some Corn Ferry, get some DP World Tour, get a big bag of players, mic them all up, throw some money at them. And
you know what I want to see? Want to know what I want to see in the off season? I want to see those pros on the Swizzy Golf app coaching us amateurs.
That's right.
What I want to see.
I'd like to see that too.
For free, giving Eric their time.
So Eric, and not to circle back, I know. So we're going to go way back to the beginning. I was curious about that. So how does that work? I mean, if you don't have access to the app, are you going to be paying for those lessons? Or I mean, as long as you paid for the simulator time, you can still take advantage of those lessons.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of our app is coaches are their own essential business.
Perfect.
We don't tell them what to charge; they charge whatever they want. It's
right.
Some 20-year-old guy in my PGM program at wherever, I could charge $30 an hour trying to make a little bit extra cash. If Hank Haney, I charge $5,000, and if somebody wants to come take a lesson with me, then they can do it. So it would probably work the same way. You get access to your simulator, however you do that, and you take your pick. You want to take Hank Haney, great. If you want somebody to teach you basics, then choose him.
That'd be such a good way for someone like, we had a guest on recently he's just starting to play golf. It's a good entry point for them to maybe, get a lesson on, a more affordable budget than to say, some places that you go to, it's, people don't have $150 to be able to pay for a one-time lesson or something like that.
Sure. It's much more comfortable too. I mean, you go to a driving range or a golf course where there's 50 other people hitting balls, and it's anxiety inducing and uncomfortable to be, your first time playing, having everybody looking at you. I know this person's taking the lesson and you're just shanking balls, trying to figure it out in front of people. You do this in your own home or a closed off simulator. Nobody can see you other than your coach. You're in a little bit more of a comfortable environment where you're more willing to put yourself out there and say, all right, let me take a lesson. I'm going to be terrible, but let me get better.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's the thing, right? Everybody wants to improve. It's one of those things that I was talking to Mike, who we had on, who's a new golfer, and he got his first par last Friday in his first real round that wasn't a scramble event, right? And he was thrilled. And he said to me that he's down that rabbit hole of watching as many swing improvement videos as possible and listening to everybody's advice. and he was swinging his pitching wedge, and he had a lot of confidence with his pitching wedge, and he hit it really well. I said, look, all you got to do is do that with every club. Just have that same confidence and start hitting every club like that club, because it's all in your mind right now, right? His swing is a beginner swing. You can see the rotation or lack of rotation of the club head in a backswing, getting in the right position. He brings it outside, then comes back in. So he hits this nice little butter fade when he hits it really well. He's not real flexible yet, so he doesn't have that full turn. He saws off. There's all those typical things a new golfer will do. And he's a very analytical guy. So he's watching everything, and he's gravitated towards Bryson and his channel and his swing thoughts and his one-piece swing, that sort of thing, the Mo Norman type stuff. So I'm sure he'd be able to find a coach on the app that would fit his style and help him improve pretty quickly, probably.
Yeah.
I just finished Hank Haney's book, The Big Miss with Tiger Woods. It's an interesting book. So if you haven't read it, go ahead and take a look at it. It gives you the insight on what a golf coach is thinking and what he's thinking about telling the player, and how he disseminates that information he has. Basically, what he says is most golf coaches have the same kind of swing philosophy. There might be minor differences. It's how they convey those swing thoughts to the player and get them to buy into them is what's really important. So Tiger was not somebody that took direction openly and willingly, maybe all the time.
I, for one, am stunned by that revelation.
Right.
Shocked.
So somebody that probably tinkers with a swing more than I do anyway. But John Rahm had some interesting quotes. He's one of us. He really is. He claimed to be battling swing thoughts at the CJ Cup, and he was struggling with it. He said, I don't like to have too many swing thoughts on my approach, and definitely thinking more than I would like to on some of those shots out there today. I was still able to execute and play good golf. It's just not an easy golf course out there. If I could shoot under par uncomfortably, manage a couple of mistakes, I'd still have a chance to win. He says, I just battled with these thoughts all day long. And that's really somewhere where I get stuck quite often, is thinking too much when I'm over the ball, and making sure, make sure the knee comes out, make sure you get your chin under your shoulder and you rotate to get your chin under your other shoulder, make sure you don't pick up your head too soon, make sure you do this. And it stresses me out, and I play golf very tense. When I relax and just try to hit the ball, I'm a better player. So something they have to work on this winter in the garage, because I'm not sure we're going to get out very much.
Yeah, one of the golf coaches that Mary and I worked with, really her style was probably, she'd written a lot of materials on it as well, was maybe 35% physical, the swing, the motion, things to do, and at least 65% mental, and how to put your mind in the right place. And that was her focus. So it was a good opportunity to have a coach like that.
Yeah, I need a coach to slap me in the head and say, stop thinking, just swing the club.
I'll do that next time.
I mean,
I'm there with you. I got you.
Should have just asked. Yeah, that's all you had to do is ask.
You can biff me in the shin with a 7-iron there.
Ouch! Absolutely not. Yeah, then I'm gonna have to hear about that for the rest of the round. How your
It's
ankle
one of
hurt?
those
How your
things that
shin
hurts
hurts?
so bad. Oh God, it hurts so bad. The PNC Championship is one of these off-season events that we've kind of grown used to and accustomed to. John Daly and Little John are going to be back to defend their title.
Yeah, this is the father-son championship, right?
I don't know. You can call it father-son anymore. It's a
right.
parent.
Yeah,
child.
Parent-child. Yeah,
right. Because Annika is playing in it with her son, so
cool.
She'll be back. Yeah, that'll be very cool. This will be at the Ritz-Carlton Golf Club in Orlando, December 17th and 18th. So we'll be able to watch that. That's a lot of fun to watch. Hopefully, knock on wood somewhere, that Tiger and Charlie are going to show up again, because Charlie has grown and his swing looks incredible. Anytime I can watch Charlie play, I'm going to be a happy man. So I think Jordan's going to be there with his dad. So they're going to make their debut this time. And Annika Sorensen's going to play. Yeah. Justin Letter's playing with his 16-year-old son, Luke. Nick Price will be there again for the 8th time. Lee Trevino has played every PNC championship since its inception in 1995. He's going to be back And we don't know about Tiger yet or Charlie. So I'm sure that'll be, sometime in December we might hear about that. But hopefully we'll see them there. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So speaking of Tiger, his hole-in-one ball from his first ever.
The Milwaukee. Oh no, was that the Waste
Greater
Management?
Milwaukee Open in 1996.
Yeah.
So he hit a 6-iron and sunk a hole-in-one. He didn't win, but somebody they were yelling at him, tossing the ball, and guy that was yelling at him, he got the ball tossed to him, he fumbled it, and it fell into his brother-in-law's lap, and his brother-in-law got it.
Wow.
It's going up for auction.
How do you validate something like that?
So the guy was a baseball card collector at the time, and he kind of, was a little savvy. He talked to a tournament official and got Tiger to sign the ball for him. So the tournament kind of said, yeah, this is the ball, this is the right thing, and signed by Tiger Woods on top of it. No idea what it's going to go for, but some of the tickets to Tiger Woods' first tournament have sold for upwards of $90,000.
Oh my God, that's insane. That's a great video, by the way. I mean, I've probably watched that video 100 times of, it's just, he hits it. And that's why I thought it was the Waste Management for a second, because it's the crowds are lined down, they're circling the green, and it just erupts. People are going crazy. Tiger's failing high fives, fist pumping down the fairway. It's so fun. I mean, it's just a great video.
Yeah, it's way cool, and definitely go watch it. So a full ticket from the Greater Milwaukee Open in 1996 that was graded a 9 by an authenticator sold for $99,000 during the spring sports catalog auction by Heritage in February. There are several tickets to this that have graded well. There's one hole-in-one ball. So if that ticket sold for $99,000, what is Tiger's hole-in-one ball going to sell for?
It's got to be over 100,000.
It doesn't make a difference whatever it sells for. The brother-in-law has said whatever it sells for, he's splitting the money with the brother-in-law who fumbled it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good.
Right?
Then it should go for $500,000.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's gonna go for a lot.
Well, what did his putter self, like his replica putter? It wasn't even his real putter. It was a replica.
$600,000 or something.
Yeah,
I
so
insane.
I gotta think $400,000 for the hole-in-one golf ball at least.
I'm saying it's going to be about $500,000 in that area. So
yeah,
what's that?
Signed by him in '96, so that adds a little bit of value also.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I've been a memorabilia collector for a long time. The room I'm in now has got memorabilia all over it, including golf flags and stuff. Aaron, you got a couple of things, right?
Yeah, a couple things, nothing crazy, but yeah, a few things.
Yeah. Jeff, I know you got that flag from the Solheim Cup.
Yep, Nancy Lopez signed golf bag. My wife has. So
yeah, Eric, what do you got? You have any memorabilia? You into that at all?
It'd be nice if I did. I think that the best I can say, my last roommate had a Mickey Mantle ball. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I got to look at that every day.
All of my stuff is from him, like a gift. So I have a Jordan Spieth signed US Open flag, and I got a Tony Hawk signed skateboard that's
oh wow,
sitting there. So,
an interesting one.
Yeah,
there you go.
You got to love Tony Hawk, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's still out there doing it. There's videos of him all the time, just showing up at a random park skating with people.
Yep.
He's pretty special. So I love Tony Hawk. We got to play some golf this weekend, so that was really good. The wind was up for sure, so it made things interesting. I think we're going to spend some time in some simulators, so maybe you hurry up and get that software update done there, Eric.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
I'll fast track it for this weekend.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
But we had some interesting holes and some bad holes, and it is what it is, right?
Sunday was a lot of bad.
All over the place right now, but getting the garage set up, I think I'm going to tear out some of the those shelves on the my side of the garage where I have the net set up so that right-handers can hit a little bit more comfortably. That's what I got for this week. What do you guys got? Anything left?
No,
I got nothing.
It was nice to golf this weekend. I mean, it was 70 degrees. It was sunny. We got to go out and actually play on the course, but nothing crazy happened. Nothing to write home about.
I got back-to-back birdies.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's
right.
true. Yeah, you did get back-to-back birdies,
and one of them was on 7, which always kicks my ass. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
and
tough
flew
hole. So
flew
I
the
got-
flag on 8 and landed a yard behind it.
I got back to back double bogeys on Sunday, so
no.
great.
We
What
don't-
a great time.
that's okay. I had
Been
an
there.
8, so I had an
Been
8, so
there.
whatever.
Been
It is what it
there
is.
all
Eric,
day.
how's your golf? How are you doing? Are you playing at all, or are you just working all the time?
Yeah, I can probably top all those except for Jeff. I could top Aaron and Mike. Last time I played, I think it was Sunday the week before, so 9 days ago. Set a record that I probably tied a million times in my life, hitting 0 greens, but that one
Nice.
was extremely frustrating.
Oh, you gotta love that.
Yeah, and I'm hoping actually, I'm trying to play next Sunday. I've got 3 friends I've played. We have a 2-on-2 match that we've gone back a couple of times now, and we're all tied up in our lifetime series. Myself and another one of my friends that's also pretty solid, and then 2 of our friends that are objectively pretty bad. And we team up 2-on-2, and it's a pretty solid match with 4 of us. So I got to turn the game around a little bit by that time.
Good times.
Yeah, I know there's a great app you can use.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
That's
I think I can
awesome.
get a discount.
There you
How-
go. There you
How
go.
long have you guys been playing that game? I mean, is this something that whenever you go out together, you guys just always play a match?
Well, no, it's tough because the 2 that aren't very good don't play a lot. They enjoy it. They like to go out. We do, but golf's not really their thing. They're just, when we can get out. So we've gone back probably maybe beginning of last summer was when we first said, all right, let's put a few bones down on this and see if we can have a little fun. And then maybe we've played 4 or 5 times.
Cool.
Then, so,
Awesome. Good
I
stuff.
love
awesome.
playing when there's something on the line. It always feels like the pressure is makes the game more real. But I need to focus on getting out of my own head and just swinging the club. I think that's going to help us. We do have a new simulator in town, so we'll have to find out what software they're using.
I think
Eric,
it's the E6 software is what they're
E6,
using.
so True
Yeah.
Golf.
because they do everything there, right? It's the simulator can do hockey,
frisbee golf,
soccer, all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff, which I've never seen before in a simulator. So that was pretty cool.
And the putting was so much better than I've seen it most.
The putting
Yeah.
was great. It was actually doable. It felt
Yep.
like what you wanted to do happened. So
Yep.
we just got to get Jeff. We got to build like a platform for Jeff so he's up about 2 feet
So-
higher.
So I have a real, so part of it I think is that swing, and I started to work on that this weekend, and we saw some shots come out of me that were way higher than my typical ball flight. I think I'm starting
Sure.
to solve that with some of the swing drills I'm working on. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. So, Eric, we're thrilled to have you. We always want you on the show. We love updating everybody what you're doing. So let's stay in touch. And as things keep changing on Swizzy, we'll let you come on and update everybody. Hopefully help it take off a little bit better. So thanks for coming on this week. Really appreciate it. And
For sure.
we love having you on. So thank you
Yep.
very much.
if you're listening,
here.
don't forget, and you're interested in golf, don't forget to download the app Swizzy Golf. You can find
It's
it
in the
on-
description below. The website's always
Perfect,
down
that's
there.
great.
So,
That's
just click
awesome.
that and you guys can go check that out.
Perfect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Aaron, anything else?
Nope.
Jeff, how are you?
Got nothing.
Eric, anything to wrap
All
us
good.
up with? You're good. All right. Thanks everybody for listening. If you haven't done so already, we'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. Leave us any comments, even comments that aren't the best in the world. We'd love to hear from you because while we understand we're not professionals and we might be hacks, we love what we do and we love sharing it with everybody. So thanks for joining us this week, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. And if you get out there, hit them straight. Thanks.
Later.